Hey, hey, you know what time it is. It's time for the Trillest winter. Boop, let's get it. So I am doing batch videos on the how-to series. And so over the weekend, I got at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 how-to questions from my listeners. And I compiled them. And so I am ready to go ahead and drop the series for you. So here we go. The first how to that I chose was, how do you know when you have found the one? Oh, don't you always want to know that? Like, how do I know they're the one? So I can stop wasting my time on these whack people. Okay. Ooh. Can we just fast forward the tape and just figure out that they're the one so we don't have to waste the time? No. So I believe there are going to be many ones in your life. Many ones in your life. And let me tell you why. Because nothing lasts forever. I know, I'm busting the delusion of delusions, but nothing lasts forever. And let me tell you why. Somebody's gonna die, somebody's gonna move, somebody's going to change who they are and develop into another version of themselves that may not align with you, or you may change and you may not align with them, but nothing lasts forever. The one thing that you can depend on that will last forever is change. And so going into this video, I want us to keep that in mind, that there is one for the moment, right? And how long those moments last is what really indicates, impact. So here's my thing. In stages in life, right, we go through development and we learn things about ourselves. And every person you meet is a reflection of you. Every person that you decide to entertain is a reflection of you in some manner. And based on where you're going, this person is either going to help you go further or go backwards. And it's really up to you to decide where you're going and does that person align with your vision and your mission. And if they do not, or if they stop aligning with it and they're no longer inspiring you and you're not inspiring them, or things are so tense and toxic that you can no longer thrive in that space, you have to be wise enough to say, you know what? We served each other for the time that was right. And now that the time is, that we're either misaligned, we're not being able to spend time, we're not even being able to see eye to eye, things are just too difficult to even move to the next step, then you may have to pivot. And that kind of goes against the whole Disney philosophy of the one, where you meet your Prince Charming, you meet your princess, and you guys sail off into the sunset and ride these cute horses, and you're like, oh, happily ever after, 5 kids, and then, we die. So with that said, is that you have to be aligned with somebody in order for those relationships to go really far. And it's really important that you know what you want, at least for the place in your life for the next 5 to 10, 15 years, in order for you to align yourself with someone who has the same similar values. Now, let's talk about what it feels like when you found someone you're aligned with. Now, that is the banger. So here's the deal. First, I always say, work on yourself. The second thing is my motto, which is, it's right till it ain't right. And let me explain this. Every 24 hours, okay, every 24 hours, you are going to have developments. You're going to have data come into you, which is going to show you what direction to move for the day. This is a quite amazing theory. And you never know what that 24 hours is going to bring you. So you got to be ready. So if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So just know this is your video to help you stay ready for a moment, a really long moment, a short moment, a quick moment. But whatever it is, that 24 hours is going to help determine what moves you make next. So if you are one of those people that kind of just flow in life and don't realize that this data is coming into you constantly, you may not decide to understand your alignment direction. So you're just floating and you're not co-creating with the universe. You're not creating your path to align yourself with the right people. So let's go with a quick story. So when I moved to Atlanta, I decided to be celibate, right? And I had a mission. My mission was I'm going to go to grad school. I'm going to finish grad school. I'm going to learn how to do hypnotherapy. I'm going to open up a hypnotherapy practice in Las Vegas because I wasn't trying to go back to Los Angeles, but close enough, but not all the way in the trenches. And I will go ahead and that's going to be my path in alignment. So a big portion of my alignment was grad school and having my own practice one day, or a place where I can teach others or help others heal and evolve, right? So I decided I am not going to let anyone get in my way. So I decided to be celibate to turn men off because, you tell a man you're celibate and he's just kind of like, okay, well, I ain't fooling with you. And that's great. I didn't want anyone to fool with me. So I was like, I don't want to be aligned with anyone else right now. I want to be aligned with myself and my purpose and my vision. So I'm working out. I'm eating healthy. I'm looking good. I'm meeting and greeting. I am doing all the things, but I'm not open for a relationship or the one. Now, I'm not going to say that I didn't struggle with being alone or wanting companionship. My neighbor even said, he was like, you'll never have nobody at your house. And I was like, good, because I don't want to find anybody to link up with and that'll distract me, because love can be a distraction sometimes because it's like a drug, right? But it's different when you're aligned with somebody. So watch this. So as I'm laying in my bed, I even got a dog, okay? His name was Tiny Loke Cuz. Shout out to Cabu, who helped me name him. Cabu's from LA. And, he was like, Emma, you should name him Tiny Loke. So anyway, side story. So I got this dog, Tiny Loke Cuz, and I love him. And he sleeps on the other side of the bed. So he was like my little boyfriend, I was like, nobody's going to take Tiny's spot. So it's me and Tiny. We have our little routine. I'm not spending the night at anybody's house because I got a dog. I got to walk at 7 a.m. in the morning. It was a perfect combination of staying single because I wanted to stay aligned with myself and my purpose and my vision. Well, let me tell you something about that. When you are so focused on your alignment, purpose, and vision, it's a funny thing what the universe will do, or what God will do, or what your higher power will do. They will act, that higher power will actually send people who are aligned with you. It's a very funny thing like that. So what I noticed is that I'm meeting people who are on my journey that are helping me get to my next level, and I'm not even realizing it. So here's the thing. I tried to get a job. I was just like, okay, I want to get a job in the psychology department. I didn't get the job. And then 2 weeks later, I'm sad, of course, because I wanted to work in the psych department. I was invited by Ricky Smiley to come up to a radio station to deliver him some cookies that a good friend had baked. And that is when I met this person. Okay, I really don't want to put their name, but that's where I met Wilt, right? So I met him and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so aligned with my future in my life. I don't want to date anyone. So let's just be friends. Let's just be friends. And, we're hanging out. But what I noticed in this friendship that was bubbling and kindling is that his purpose did not mess up with my purpose. And where he was going did not cause me to become misaligned, which is your number one thing. So when you found the one, at least for a long stint of time or for a short stint of time, they will be, number one, aligned with your purpose, or their purpose will not throw you off of your alignment. Their schedule will merge with your schedule. You ever meet somebody where you try to connect with them and date and y'all never seem to work out the schedule time? So it's like, dang, take this as a sign that you guys are blocked from each other and that they are not the one. I would put big old X's, but I don't know how to do all that yet. But we're going to get to that editing in the future one day. But a big XXX, that means it is not time for you to align. They are not the one. Look other way. All right. So the second thing is, how do you know that they're the one? Well, another thing is they feel warm like jacuzzi water. Have you ever been around somebody where you're just like, I don't like how I feel with them. You know, like they'll say things that'll jar you. They'll say things that will, make you second guess yourself, doubt yourself, shrink yourself. I talked about that in my other video about leveling up. They will say things that will make you feel uncomfortable. If they are the one, they actually make you feel warm and invited naturally. I remember I had to tell this guy one time, I was like, I don't feel invited by you. I feel like you're really trying to shorten our time. You are not trying to connect with me. It's just like, this is beneficial for you, but it is not really beneficial for me. And what is that? Well, that is a sign of an emotionally unavailable person. They are unavailable to emotionally connect and invite you into their world. So guess what? They are not the one. Okay, so if you feel like they're not giving you enough time, enough energy, enough reciprocation, they're not the one, period. Now, that's not to say they can't be the one later. Okay, Emma does not count out anything because God can do anything. Okay, the universe can work all the things out. However, they're not the one if they make you feel like that. If they're the one, it feels like jacuzzi water. There is a Bible verse that talks about, Jesus being like equally yoked. Like, I'm not a big religious person, but some of these gems that are dropped in the Bible are worth looking at, right? So the thing is that when you're with someone and it's easy, take note of that, because life is already hard enough. You do not need to be coming home stressed out or worried and tense and anxious trying to work within somebody else's lifestyle or their life purpose when it's not easy on you. Y'all need to be bumping like two oxen, walking in the trail back in the day with a yoke connected to each other, and it's easy when you walk. So if you're like, okay, I gotta go do this, they're like, either they're gonna support you, they're gonna like, go ahead, babe, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna be over here, and then when you're done, we're gonna meet back up. That is a sign that they're the one. Okay. Number 3, you guys have the same values and you guys have similar character. So it means if you're kind to others, most likely they're going to be kind to others. The way that they move is going to be the way that you move. I have met men in my life that I was like, I don't like the way you move. Nope. I don't like the way you talk to that waitress. I don't like the fact that you don't say bless you when I sneeze. That is super important to me, okay? I was raised to be super considerate and polite. Like, I'm kind of hood, but I'm super polite and considerate. And the thing is that I have been around men who did not have that same upbringing, or they didn't feel it was important, or the communication was tough. It's the way that they move. You always want to critique them. If you want to change the way that they move, they're not the one for you. 444X, okay? XXXXX. If you are constantly looking at how they do things, if they leaving a cheap tip and you're like, wait a minute, they did a really good job. Why are you leaving them a $2 tip when they really deserve 20? They're not the one for you. Okay? If you are constantly wanting to change their core and their fiber, and you don't admire them, and you don't want to be more like them, they're not the one. Now, they may be the one for you if you admire the way that they move. So you're like, ooh, I like how they do that. I could see myself do that. And you know why? Because we actually take on the behaviors of our partners. They take on your behaviors, you take on their behaviors. So the more, if you like how they move and you want to be more like them and they want to be more like you and you guys admire each other, then chances are you have found a good candidate for the one. All right. Let me see what else, how you know that they're the one. You're never confused. I don't know if anyone out here is just like one of those people who are like, are they into me? Are they into me? That question should never come up. Actually, you should never feel like, are they into you? If that question comes up, they're probably not the one, because there's a power dynamic that is off in that relationship, meaning that they either feel above you and do things to make you feel inadequate, and that is going to cause tension in the relationship. And for the women sometimes like to make men feel like inadequate, like, oh, I could pull better than you, so you lucky you got me. Or a man is like, I'm the prize, and so you need to be bowing down because I make 6 figures, or I'm a millionaire, or whatever. And that's the thing, is that if either one of you are making the other one feel less than, even if it's not done on purpose and it's done too often, that is a really, really bad sign that this relationship is probably not going to last. And you need to find someone that is lucky, that feels lucky to have you, and you feel lucky to have them. Both of y'all should actually be intimidated in a little way where you don't want to fumble each other. So it's almost like when someone gives you something really precious and valuable, and you're like, I am not going to break this. I'm not going to scratch it. I'm going to take care of it. That's how you know you found the one. When they treat you that way and when you treat them that way. If none of these items are on the table and there's confusion, there's chaos, it feels heavy, it feels strained, it feels anxious, it feels uncomfortable, you guys are misaligned. All of these things are saying, nah, they ain't the one. Red flag. All right. So with that said, pay attention to all the good things. You know, do y'all move right? Do you admire how they move? Do you feel valuable, or do you feel lucky to have them in your life? Do you want to be more like them? Do they want to be more like you? Does it feel easy to move and ebb and flow with them? Are they patient with you? Are you patient with them? If whenever you find the one, your best self comes out and emerges. And that is what keeps these relationships working so well and for the long haul. Now, I'm not saying it's going to last forever, because y'all already know my thoughts on that. But I'm saying that these are the components that can make it last for a long time. Not to mention if they're honest and if they communicate well with you. The better you communicate, the better you have chances of being together longer, because there are going to be some people in your life where they are determined to misunderstand you. They are determined to be confused by you, and vice versa. Because when you really don't like somebody, you actually look for flaws to confirm that. And it's called confirmation bias. Look it up. It's a psychology word. You know, I like to throw them in there. And so what it is you're looking for reasons to basically count them out from not being the one. But if you really like them, you'll actually look for reasons and give them excuses. But you don't want to do that to the point where it's detrimental to you. Find a place where you guys are equally aligned, and it does this. Sometimes you admire them more. Sometimes they admire you more. But it's balanced, right? It's just balanced. And that is how you know they're the one. I hope you guys enjoy this. Please like and subscribe. Remember, you can DM me at Instagram at the Trillest Winter. You can Gmail me at the Trillest Winter. And please send me your how-tos. Is there something that you want to know how to do when it comes down to people, power dynamics, dating, emotions, self-awareness, all the things, professional? Guess what? I am a trained therapist, so I can help you with all of that, and a coach. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And it's cold outside, so bundle up, all right? And remember, like and subscribe, or I'm going to cut it. Just kidding. Okay, bye.